Hey guys, it's efitter7 with another layout update. I know it's been a long time, but we've got a lot of work done and a lot of stuff to show you, so enjoy. So starting over in the usual place in the industrial area, you see that not a lot has changed, but there have been a few new additions, such as these MTH high tension power lines. The reason this high tension power line here is up on this Woodland Scenic's riser is because I'm going to make a hill that fits into this corner, and this is going to be elevated about this high. Here you see my 1, 2, 3 high tension power lines. I really like where they're placed. I might spread them out a bit further, but I think they look good here. In order to represent the wires going between the high tension power lines, I bought this solid rubber cord used for making necklaces and bracelets and stuff from the arts and crafts store, and it should represent the wires quite well. Here in the intermodal section of the layout, you see that not a whole lot has really changed. All the containers are still looking good, everything's looking nice. We'll come on down here. Now I'm going to tell you guys what's going to go on over here now. I'm actually going to remove this little rubber road and use this product from Home Depot or Lowe's called Quickcrete. It's actually a concrete mix. I'm going to be mixing it up and laying it out here like Smooth It, and it creates a very, very, very realistic road. And weather it up a little bit and have my cars running, and it'll be kind of the same idea of a road running parallel to the train tracks, but it'll look nicer. In the background we see a few rocks that I've cast from some Woodland Scenic's rock molds. They're very nice. They're cast in lightweight hydrocal, and they're painted with the Woodland Scenic's pigments. They look very good. And I think I'm going to be doing a whole bunch along this back wall here to create a rock face similar to this. I think I'm going to get rid of this probably and do all casted rocks along here. And going onto the tunnel, I'll show you something new. So with the Quickcrete that I'm going to be doing on my roads with, this is what it's actually going to look like. You put it down and you can weather it with pencils and paints and other stuff to create patches and cracks and all sorts of stuff. It looks really realistic, and I really like how it looks. Plus it's cheaper than Smooth It. So I think this is the way I'm going to go. Coming into the Indiana farm scene area, you see that it is a mess. A lot of work has been going on today, and I've actually been doing a lot of scenery, as you can see. I removed all the corn off the hill, and I replaced it with trees and rocks and Woodland Scenic's ground foam, and it looks pretty good, I think. It's plaster cloth. I cut holes for the rocks and placed them in, hid the gaps with Woodland Scenic's foam ground cover and such, and it's come together nice. I'm actually going to relocate the corn and do my cornfield down here. As you can see, here's all the corn. I'll actually use Woodland Scenic's coarse turf and make rows of what looks kind of like soybean, I guess, and I'll do rows and I'll continue the farm scene that way. It should look pretty good. In order to create the scene you see here, I used the Woodland Scenic's Forest Canopy learning kit, I guess, and it came together really well. It looks really nice. It's very easy. It actually says this is easy as 1, 2, 3. You dip the armatures in scenic cement, sprinkle on the ground foam, and plant the trees, and this is what they look like. I think they look really, really good. In big updating news, you can finally see that I finished the benchwork and got the Woodland Scenic Subterranean kit. This is a 3% grade that is going to carry my 072 curve back up to the height of the rest of my layout. You still see that we're doing work on this part of the layout right now, but if I get up on a stool, we can see that the track plan has really come together. This right here is the main line, which will run around and connect into the farm scene down there. This is just some track that's there temporary. That's not really going to be anything, and I haven't really decided on what's going to go there just yet. But this right here is kind of, I guess you could call it the yard lead or the car shop lead. And it comes off this switch here, and it comes back where that SD70 ACE is, back down past the sanding tower over to where these cars and my weathering station is. That's where the Altoona Model Works car shop is going to go. Here's the MTH Rail King SD70 ACE, and if we follow the track that it's on, we see that it goes through the 072 remote Y switch and into the two spurs for the car shop. Now, here are a few pieces of rolling stock that I'd like to show you. Not specifically this Burlington Northern Hopper here, but this Actless 60-foot high cube boxcar. Now, I went on Railroad Archives and found some pictures and noticed that the roofs on these are always rusty, but they always seem to replace a few panels. So what I did is I used my AIM weathering powders and Al Mayo's technique to really rust the roof out, but I left some panels untouched to look as if they were replaced. I think it turned out really great, and I've been doing a lot of weathering lately. Another project that I've been working on has been this Union Pacific Gondola. It was just a plain MTH gondola, and I didn't really have a use for it because I thought it was out of my era. But I decided I could do something cool, and so I weathered it up nicely. I streaked the leathering and weathered the trucks and wheels and the body, made it nice and grimy. And I took an HO scale crane car, removed the crane part, repainted it. It used to be a really fake toy-like Santa Fe crane car, and repainted it, really rusted up the roof nicely, did some streaking down the side, repainted the boom to a brown, I don't know if you can see it or not, added some textured spray paint to the bottom of the car, and added a kind of a simple window load, and there's a railroad tie in there propping up the window load. And it was just kind of a nice project. I mean, it's not really like scratch building or anything, but it was fun to do, and I think it turned out pretty cool. It looks pretty neat. The paint I used to add the texture in the bottom of the car is this Rust-Oleum American Accents stone textured finish spray paint. It's pretty cool. As you can see, it's actually textured, and when you spray it on, it sprays quite thick, and it gives a nice texture. I think it looks pretty cool. Here by my workstation, you can see the reason why not a lot of progress has been going on the actual layout. Here is that Altoona Model Works car shop that I continue to talk about. It is a beautiful kit. It looks really nice. It's made of hydrocal, resin, wood, as well as a few pieces of styrene. Now, I've painted this and weathered it all myself. It's a classic brick red with an old school green. I'm not done yet. It looks really good though so far. I'm really happy with it. And this large car shop kit is actually going to go right here where these two tracks are. Now, the kit came with this base that the model will actually sit on. It has areas cut out for the inspection pits, and it has grooves that have been CNC'd in there to set in your rails. But as you can see, there's only grooves for 2 rails, so I wouldn't be able to put a locomotive inside as my layout is 3 rail. So I decided to scrap the idea. Even though it is a car shop, I'd like to be able to put a locomotive in there. So I went to the craft store, found this Elmer's foam board. It's about the same thickness as this, and I'll basically just set it on top, trace the size, and make it cut out so that I can put my Fastrack underneath. And then later I can go back and cut the 2 bits that can go in between the 2 pieces of track, and it should look pretty nice after it's painted and weathered. I know this update was pretty quick, so I'm going to show you some of the other things I've been up to as well. Now, they're not O-scale 3-rail, but they are related to trains. I'm going to take you into my brother's room and show you his N-scale layout and some of the cars I've weathered for him over the past few months. So let's take a look. Hey guys, we're in my brother's room now, and this is his N-scale layout. His username is nolanNSWMfitter. I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys should go check him out. He's going to do an update soon, and I'd like if you guys support him. So here are some of the things I've been doing for him. Here are some trees that I've made for him recently, as well as some trains that I've weathered for him. Here is a GP50 in the Wisconsin Central paint scheme. We see it's running long hood forward, and I've done some really good weathering on it. I've darkened the grills, rusted the roof, faded the paint, done the trucks and wheels, as well as the gas tank. Next we have an Actless boxcar that I've done similar to my Actless boxcar with the roof panels. I did a little bit of dusting coming up off the trucks and wheels. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but it looks pretty good. Here's another boxcar that I've done. I really rusted out the door well, and I did the same thing on the roof. And here are two covered hoppers that I've done for him. Actually, three covered hoppers that I've done for him. One here is a patched hopper for CNWX. Here's a nice dirty Sioux line, and here is another Canadian hopper. That's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. I'll leave you with a final pan across the layout. Still got a lot of work left to do on it. Hopefully I can get more of that done by the end of this summer. But stay tuned for more updates, guys, and as always, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.